Well, my original plan was I was going to just pick up with episode 8, just continue on, make no reference to the fact it's been 14 months between episodes. I was just going to completely ignore that just to be a dick. I thought that'd be a funny joke, just nothing to see here. Just it's almost like Blind Wave does one episode of One Piece a year. One a year. It's April Fool's Day, I think. So they're about to get their next episode. I think they may be up to episode 8 or 9. This April Fool's Day coming up. But they're dicks. They're the real dicks. Anyway, I was going to do that. That was my plan. I was going to make no reference to the fact it's been 14 months. But I actually bumped up against something here, and I remembered why I stopped watching the show in the first place. I thought it was views, which the views were trash. But that's not the reason. It wasn't until I rewatched the last couple episodes I realized, wait a minute, that's why I quit the show. I had completely forgotten about it. It's that I hate the English voices. Not all of them. Some of them are good, but enough of them that, like, for instance, with One Piece, I hate most of those English voices. I would never watch that show in English. I just wouldn't do it. It's like nails on a chalkboard. This was getting that bad for me. Like, some of the performances are corny, and other voices just don't match the character. The look of the character is complete. Like, why is his ghost spirit guide buddy, is basically his controller in Spycraft? They call that controller, right? It's like his liaison to the spirit world, we'll call her. Why does she have a southern accent? That makes no sense to me. Like, it's just, it doesn't match the Japanese vibe of the show, right? Like, it's just like flat accent. Even a British accent would be fine. I think it's only the southern accent that would throw me out. Because I imagine like a German accent, British accent would be okay. I can't think of another accent that would just completely throw me out. But it's almost like, well, for instance, I was talking about One Piece. Luffy sounds like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. That doesn't match the look of his character. You can see how that'd be a problem, right? And so for me, some of the voices didn't match, and then and then his mother is just a terrible voiceover actress. I don't believe a single line delivery I've heard of her in the 2 episodes I watched. The only time she was believable, ironically, was crying, and it's hard to cry realistically. She can cry realistically. She just can't give a line delivery to save her ass, right? So that's why I stopped watching a year ago. So I was like, well, do I just want to watch the Japanese? And I would rather watch the Japanese, but I've been told that it's here's the thing. Most reaction channel watchers would want to watch this in the English dub for some reason. That's what I've been told. And I would normally be like, well, who gives a shit? Because I'm a reaction channel fan. I have never once cared what language the people watch their version of what they're watching. I've never cared. In fact, I watch Spanish language. There's a Spanish language channel that watches Lost in Spanish. They don't even speak English. Everything is subtitled, right? They're watching Lost in subtitles, or they're watching in Spanish, and then there'll be like English subtitles on there for us to follow along the episode. And then the ration people watching it are speaking Spanish, and so they have subtitles. So it's all Spanish, and I have never had any problem. I love that channel. He keeps bringing in 3 new people to watch it. The guy who runs the channel has seen Lost a million times. He keeps bringing, every time he finishes a series with 3 people, he fires their asses and brings in 3 new people. I think he's on his 4th team so far, because I've been watching it for years, right? Great channel. I can't remember the name of it, but So, who gives a shit what language people watch something in? Like, I can't imagine possibly caring about that. Me, as a reaction channel fan, I can't imagine caring about that. But other people do care. I've been doing this channel for almost 4 years. I cannot deny the fact that other people care. I don't know why. It's never made any sense to me. Language is language is language. Who gives a shit, right? It's just, you know, I've told you before what I think it is you hear something a certain way so many times, it feels canonical to you. Luke, no, I am your father. The classic line from Empire Strikes Back. No, I am your father. If you suddenly heard a version of it where it's like, no, I'm your daddy, it wouldn't feel right. But is there a fundamental difference between no, I'm your father and no, I'm your daddy? No, I'm your daddy? There is no difference. The same information has been conveyed, whether you're saying, no, I am your father, or no, I'm your daddy. The exact same information has been conveyed, it's just phrased differently. But you're so used to hearing, no, I'm your father, that "Nah, I'm your daddy" just sounds wrong. It sounds wrong. So I on that level, I do understand it. Like if you're used to watch it, if you watch it a bunch of times one way, and then like say you watch it in Japanese and suddenly you hear an English version of it, that's twisted. The words are twisted around. It would be like nails on chalkboard, like I said. Or if you're used to hearing it in English and you see a Japanese phrasing, it just doesn't match the English you heard 20 times. It's like that. I think that's what's going on here. I think that I eventually cracked the code. Is people are just used to hearing "No, I'm your father" instead of "No, I'm your daddy," and they just can't wrap their mind around it, even though it's the same exact information has been conveyed. Now, I'm not trying to start an argument in the comments. I'm just saying this is where I'm coming from. But the biggest example I've ever seen of this is Dark. I want to watch the series Dark. It's a German series, right? All the people react to it. I think it'd be great for my channel, but I don't want to watch the German version and read the subtitles because it's a complicated show. And the more complicated a show is, the more dense the mythology, the more I would rather hear the words so that I can focus on the visuals with my eyes instead of looking at the bottom and reading text. And I can engage my mind better if I'm just listening to the words. I can engage my mind better and try to figure out what's going on. So, and this, apparently, Dark is like a very complicated show. The mythology is very complicated. You got to be on your toes. You got to be locked the hell in to be able to understand the mythology. So people are saying, people are demanding I watch that in German with English subtitles rather than watch the English dub, right? And I refuse. I'm not going to watch the German version because I want to be able to hear it so I can follow the mythology. And I've literally been told this. I've literally been told, if you watch the English version, I'm going to quit your channel. Like, they would rather I never watch the show than watch the English version. That's how strongly they feel about it. In fact, they feel that strongly about it that they would quit my channel. And more than one person said this to me, by the way. I don't understand that. Like, you care that much that you would rather I never watch the show than watch a different version of the show. That's how strongly people care about this shit. So that kind of puts me in a conundrum because I have a feeling that that's the same thing that's going on here. In that there's a small but passionate fan base for this series, and that small but passionate fan base wants you to react to it in English. But I hate the English voices. So what do I do here? Last time my answer to that was just to quit the series. The same thing with Dark, right? Just don't watch the series. This time I'm going to give it another chance. It's been a year. Maybe I'm less irritable now. Maybe I can get used to what I'm hoping will happen is I'll just get used to the voices. I'll stop hearing the shitty line delivery and stop hearing the shitty... I'll get so caught up in the plot because I love the story and I love the characters. That I'll get so caught up in the plot, I'll stop hearing the shitty southern accent and the shitty line deliveries. I'm not even super wild about Yu's name. He just sounds... I know he's 15. He sounds 15, which you would think would match. But his character design doesn't look 15 to me. He looks like he should be older. So I think this is something I can get used to. But, fair warning, I'm probably going to be bitching about it for the first, hopefully less than 10 episodes. I don't know. I just want to, full disclosure. I just want to put this out there. I feel like there's no good answer here. Because it's either watch the English version or don't watch any version. In other words, watch the English version or quit. But hearing those line deliveries makes me want to quit, which is what happened last time. But hopefully, like I said, I'll just get used to it. So there's that. That's what's going on there. But a funny thing happened on my way to the ranch. I've been looking all over for English version with English subtitles, which I've never been able to find anywhere. And then I looked on Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll wouldn't let me screen record because, see down here on sites like Hulu or Netflix or Max or any of these pay streaming services, if I try to do this, it'll just be a still picture that won't move. So it's got copyright protection. It won't let you screen record. Those official streaming websites will not let you screen record. Except sometimes Google Chrome will, if I use a different browser, I'll do that. So I've spent a few minutes doing all this shit, trying to get, see if you use on Crunchyroll. And I tried it on my regular browser, and the picture was static and it wouldn't move. And I tried screen recording it, and it was static and it wouldn't move, because it's got all the copyright protection. So then I tried Google Chrome with the protect. You have to turn the protections off, right? There's a special menu button you go to. You turn something off, and suddenly it'll let you screen record. So I did that and it worked. But then there's no English captions. So I was like, son of a bitch. So I was even going to pay for Crunchyroll, man, but it wouldn't let me do that. But then I found a website that has like 75 different versions of subtitles. Like they had Sanskrit, they had ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, they had Spanish and French and German. I recognize German for sure. Obviously, they had the Japanese subtitles, and they had English. Now, none of them were marked. It was unknown one, unknown two, unknown three, and it went down like it was like 25 of them. So I had to keep toggling through until I found something I recognized. But I now have English subtitles for an English dub. So that's the good news. That really bugs me because I love having the subtitles down here so people can sync their shit up and know what the hell's, know they're on the right episode and they're in the right part of the episode. This is going to be a game changer because I do other shows. I do Boruto in English. What else? There's something else I think I do in English. Or I used to. I don't remember. But now, from now on, I know I have a place I can go to if I want English subtitles. That's awesome. This is a game changer. So that's very exciting. So it's not all bad news. There's some good excitement here. So none of my other intros are going to be this long. So just so you know. I just felt like I wanted to talk about it because it bothered me a lot on my rewatch. It was like, it was hard to get through. So hopefully it gets better. Hopefully I just get used to it. But we'll see what happens. All right, and if you're new to the channel and you're just starting with this reaction, you might want to go back to the playlist and go to the beginning, the first episode of this from a year ago. But either way, we're starting on one, and we're starting after the theme song. Oh, one more thing when I was talking about how I found this channel. I was on a different channel, and that was the channel I was going to use. I was all set up. I was about to start recording. And I noticed they cut off the opening theme song and the closing theme song. And I don't like that. I also skip the theme songs, and I also don't watch the end theme songs. But I don't like that they arbitrarily cut that shit off, because what if they're cutting other stuff off? What if they cut a little bit too far or a little bit too close? And, so I was like, okay, well, I don't like this. I want to go to a channel that has actually the entire episode. That's the only reason I ended up on this channel. I've got like 5, right? I ended up on this channel, and now I noticed they had the little caption button. I was like, well, I might as well check that out. And that's how it all happened. So if they hadn't cut off the intro, I wouldn't even know about the English dub thing. So it's all, I'd rather be lucky than good, is my point. But anyway, we're at the end of the theme song, the very beginning of the episode, and we're going on 1. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I guess we should get the captions where you can actually see them if we're going to go through all this trouble, right? Let's take care of that. Guess I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit. The mirror's an idiot, but, I guess he's a nice mirror. Let's see here. I try not to look at the title. I'll have to make sure to avert my eyes, because they be spoiling shit, man. Alright, well, somebody talk so I know we're correct. Preferably 2 lines of dialogue, please, so I can make sure everything's copacetic. Go key, I see. You gotta be sued for copyright infringement. Oh. This is one of those where the dialogue doesn't match the English. The English dialogue doesn't match the English subtitles. That's interesting. I'll try to just pay attention to the words that he speaks. The audio, in other words. Because it can get distracting otherwise. Anyway, you can see the titles now, the captions. So, you're talking a lot of shit for a little dude. See, like, he was fine, by the way. His voiceover was great. Yeah, if you say so. Why are you so pissed about this? She's blending in, asshole. God, she's bad. Well, I do declare, Did they execute him? Oh, that's not bad. He's like me, not remembering shit. They probably have talked about this every day this week, right? What's his name? Well, this is awkward. Yeah, you can't hide behind you. You better turn invisible or some shit. I don't think she can anymore. Do I look like I give a shit? Did you come out of his ass? It looks like you came out of his ass. She has no chill. You can't be outing me like this, man. Jesus Christ. Just look, I don't believe in domestic violence, especially towards women. But something had to be done. She's a menace. Dumb ass. How are you in charge of anybody? Wow. She said loudly, by the way. Yeah, like that was like there was this much distance between them. Hilarious. Yeah, sure it is. Very unimpressed. Yeah, so eat my ass. Denied. I wouldn't. Hermione ass. Yeah, I'm gonna be railing her. The evil eye is watching. I like the devil voice too. I'm gonna try to focus on the performances I like. Not to be a negative Nancy. Well, she's gonna get jumped. You should. They generally speaking, they suck. He's not even like jumping her. He's just literally standing in front of her. But he's shorter than her, so stop reading my mind. God damn. Just right here on the street? Well, she's dead as hell. Yeah, that was never going to happen. He was barely interested before he got superpowers. Yeah, it's a trap. I wonder what Admiral Akbar would think about this. Man, you have him on you? She saved the best part for last. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. Well, there is no bell, but you know what I mean, metaphorically. Damn. Well, didn't expect it. It must be his artifact doing it. I bet it's his artifact. Right. That's what I thought. It'd be bloody scenery. Really? You thought that was a pimple? I see both his regular eyes are looking at it. Very disturbing. So she's unconscious, I hope. I have not. Oh, yes. I guess he had to stop by home, right? Damn, just straight on the ground, man. You just handing him over. Oh, you're gonna kick his ass now. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So did all the people. The scenery. What a dick. Yeah, I think you may be screwed here. Well, I mean, he has his reward now. Let her go. Oh boy, that's not good. Ew. She's keeping her third eye open, man. Maybe she'll have powers now. Great. Oh boy. Well, this is a terrible trade. So, here's the question. He struck her in the forehead and there's an eye there now. If he struck her in any part of her body, would the same thing happen? Like she would have an eye in her ass, maybe? You know, I'm just trying to figure out the mythology here. Well, that's not a very good trade. Man, get a knife and dig that eyeball out. It'd be messy, but you can't even touch you, man. Yeah, I'm not really feeling the baby boss either, but that voice is terrible. Yeah. So you gotta take it from me. So he came to play games. Okay, I got you. Well, I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. I like his little yelp of stardom. Dirt face. That's what we're going with. Dirt face. Maybe you screwed up by taking his friend. Why don't you say spirit detective about 5 more times? How about if I shove your guard up your ass? Yeah, no, he's not. That dude clearly loves the monologue. You can't dance forever, my pretty. I think he's in it for the love of the game. Off with his head. Maybe you shouldn't have called out before you came over. Hey, it was off. Oh, for a second I thought you took his head off. Jesus. Well, look at those 3 treasures lined up. Pro wrestlers yap? I guess they do. Oh man, keep your shirt on. Hey, I have to admit, he's been hitting the gym. He's very proud of that eye, isn't he? Well, I guess that's all you can do. She's just gonna have to open her third eye. That's right. Close the eye. Close it. Hey, you got your own problem over here, man. Oh, great. I guess that answers my question. You could have an eyebrow on your ass. Yes. Hey, thanks, man. That's very. Wait a minute. You didn't really mean that to be considerate, did you? Jesus. I was wondering if you were going to see this, dude. Yeah. Hey, you owe him one. So, probably more than one. Because technically he saved you and your mother. So you owe him two. What a dick. Why does it sound like popcorn? Maybe it's his bones popping. How about option three? You shove that sword up your ass. Well, that's it, do but die, I guess. He literally just closed his eyes and put his head down. Oh, shit. Every good deed gets rewarded. I'll take that sword. Here's blood in your eye, bitch. That's pretty good, but you're still stabbed, though. Actually, he did. I mean, allow a man to pay you back, man. Now we're talking. Isn't a sword on the ground? Grab it. He gonna leave that sword on the ground and let this dude pick it back up. Now we're talking. Look at him. I'm gonna kick your ass. He stands on business. You know, fly fighting isn't all it's cracked up to be. God damn. You're taking those George Foreman punches, man. Thunder punches. Well, I'm doing a good job of being a bowling pin, that's for damn sure. Dude, that sword been on the ground. What are you talking about? If that's what that is. Oh, this is clever. It's like, oh, you're trying to run away. Yeah, hilarious. You really like saying detective, don't you? Here's gun in your eye, bitch. Ah, shit. Nah, he was pointing at that thing. The mirror. I think it was a mirror, right? Yeah, that's what he saw. He saw the mirror. So there was no way he was that far off, right? Yeah, there was no way he was that far off. Dumbass. See, that was what we call a reflective device. Yeah, no shit. Now that part, like it's probably sketchy. That part was hell of a risk. You wouldn't know exactly where he would go, right? But I was like, there is no effing way he was gonna be that far off. Like I thought he would just miss by a little bit, right? No, he was way down here, man. Well, too bad she died. Oh, it's a liquid, huh? Guess that makes sense, being an antidote. But I guess what I was surprised by was it's like loose liquid inside the hilt, not inside like a vial or something. A little tiny jar. You think it'd be a jar inside the hilt. You pull that out, and then you have the liquid, right? Yep, he's pretty fly for a white guy. Yes, yeah, exactly. I was gonna be like, they can bounce off mirrors. It's pretty clever. I thought you saw the sword over there, right? But I realized what it had to have been when he was so far off. You don't need to be in a science class to bounce light off a mirror, man. The sun comes in through the window and hits the mirror. You see that shit? Yeah. What else is he supposed to do? No, he's just lucky. I'd rather be lucky than good. He don't know strategies. He's 15, man. Maybe he just doesn't recognize the English version of it. And he's modest, too. So that's the end of this story arc, right? Fair enough. Yeah. He had to watch The Bachelor. No. I'd rather watch The Bachelor. Really? That's what we're doing, huh? Is it 100 spankings and each one of those is a spanking or just 100 slaps? I don't need to see that. I didn't need to see how much we got it. Oh, yeah. This is a problem. He's sweating. At least we're kissing. Kiss my ass. Nope. All I know is you're always around her. Well, we didn't have his mom in this episode, so, yeah. And she's not like a major character. So, that was not bad. I mean, she's annoying. You know, her voice, her accent's annoying. But, I guess the mom is the one I hate the most. So, we didn't have that. So, this wasn't that bad at all. This is actually a good episode. So, I enjoyed that.